Who's ready for some postseason action? We are kicking off our postseason tournaments on EA Sports College Football 25, and this will begin tomorrow with the MAC. So we're going to show you the bracket here, and what we're going to be doing over the next month and a half or so. We're going to be going through every conference, and we're going to do a postseason conference tournament, simulation tournament here for all of the conferences. And if you're wondering about the SEC, though, that will be over on the SEC channel because I want to have some content over there on that channel. So the SEC tournament will be on the SEC channel, the SG1 Sports SEC channel. All the other tournaments will be right here. And then we'll kick off our 64-team tournament after the Real Life National Championship. So these conference tournaments will affect seeding in the 64-team tournament. You are automatically in the tournament if you win your conference championship, just like the March Madness, the college basketball tournament. And then we'll be looking at some different metrics to figure out who gets into the 64-team tournament. And potentially, if you do really well in a conference tournament, that could bump you in or out of the 64-team tournament. So these conference tournaments will matter. They will affect seeding, and they will affect, again, who gets into the 64-team tournament. This channel has been kind of dead over the last month or so. We've just been kind of posting simulations from the real life college football games, and that worked for a while until really about the month of November. For whatever reason, none of you guys seem to be watching the simulations anymore, and I realized that there's really no investment in just watching these random games. So hopefully we can get you guys back invested into these simulations with these tournaments. And maybe next year when we get to the season, I will do some tournaments during the season, so it's not just random simulations of the games each week. So yeah, moving forward, just a little bit of a channel update here. But let's get into the bracket. Again, we'll be starting with the MAC, and we'll be doing these tournaments pretty quickly. Like, for example, tomorrow we're going to have all 4 first-round games. So we'll have all 4 first-round games in the first day. The next day we'll have the 4 second-round games. And so we'll be moving through this pretty quickly to get all of these tournaments in before we start our 64-team tournament, again, the day after the national championship. All right, so let's look at the bracket here. We've got the top 4 seeds getting byes because there's 12 teams in the MAC, and it's going to come out like this. So this is based off of the standings, of course, the real-life standings. Your top 4 seeds that are getting byes, so Ohio will be at number 1, Miami of Ohio at number 2, Buffalo at number 3, and Bowling Green at number 4. So these teams will get a first round bye. Now let's take a look at the matchups. The 8-9 matchup will feature Akron hosting Eastern Michigan, and all the games will be home and away. So the team with the higher seed will get home field advantage all the way up until the championship, and then we'll use a neutral site for the championship game. One of the bad things about this new game is you cannot do conference championship games on the play now or the exhibition. You can't do conference championship games. You can't do neutral sites except for bowl games. So we'll have to put it, I guess, in a bowl game, and that's what we'll do for all of these conference championship games. But Akron, Eastern Michigan there, and then in the 5-12 matchup, we've got Western Michigan hosting Kent State. And then the 7-10 matchup will be Toledo versus Central Michigan. And the final matchup here for the first round, Northern Illinois hosting Ball State. So we will kick this off tomorrow with all of the first round matchups. I do have an Army-Navy simulation coming up later today if you'd like to check that out. And hopefully, guys, will enjoy these tournaments. As always, I love to get your predictions. So who do you think makes it to the Final Four? Who do you think wins this MAC tournament? Let me know down in the comments below.